important for all of us who have installed solar in our houses, who want to install solar in houses, who want to install solar on other people's houses like us, who've been working for a long time in this industry and help people use clean energy, to evaluate whether the sector, the residential sector, which is so dependent on subsidies, can survive without subsidies or not. This has become very, very important because subsidies have not been coming for about a year. Out of 170 customers in Chandigarh, only 1/3 have received subsidies till date, and we have no idea when they will come. Initially, the subsidies were going to customers. In January, when they stopped, over a period of time, the pressure kept piling up on the government, and they decided that they are going to now, across India, give subsidies to installers, which is going to create a really huge problem for everyone. So much so that we have stopped doing any further installations, because if we don't know when the subsidy is called, we cannot keep sinking money into the system. So instead of just waiting and watching about it, we need to see what can be done around this, just at a power cut. So yeah, that's also a problem that can be solved with solar. So if we look at this, first we understand why subsidies are required. So returns on investment on a smaller systems are much lesser because smaller systems are more costlier. Commercial industrial system viability is anyways there. In this case, if you look at, let's say, a 5 kilowatt system, which costs roughly around 3 lakh rupees and saves 50,000 rupees a year, and we take a 10-year horizon, we see the return on investment is roughly around 11%, out of which half of it, which is 5-year warranty on the main, also on the inverter in the system, means that half of it is still under risk, or maybe an operational maintenance cost increases. So this is where the government introduces subsidy, and the subsidies, if let's say on a 3 lakh system, a rupees 1 lakh subsidy actually phenomenally increases the returns by reducing your initial down payment, and you make a 21% return, which is 10% higher than somebody who's not gone for subsidy. So okay, let me go back and introduce Ajay and Vijay. Ajay and Vijay are two brothers living in as next door neighbors. The reason why we're taking it is one is taking subsidies, the other is not taking a subsidy, and everything else is similar for them. So the sun is the same, the weather is the same, the tariffs is the same, the power company is the same, and any increases will be the same. So we can say that all things equal, subsidy makes a 10% difference in the return on investment. Now at the same time, if we are not going for subsidies, there are certain things we can do which are otherwise not allowed when we are taking subsidies. They are allowed for commercial sector, they don't take subsidies. The power companies don't have a problem with those things, they are technically allowed, but they're still not done, and there are certain set of rules. For example, you have to give a 5-year warranty. We can give a more warranty, we can reduce risk further. So let's see what all can we do if we don't have to bother about subsidies. So first thing is, obviously we can size extra panels. Now we size 6 kilowatt panels instead of a 5 kilowatt panels because the government says when you're taking subsidy you have to maintain certain ratios, which means we increase the savings rate by 20%, which means he's going to save, instead of 50,000 a year, 60,000 a year. So overall 10-year period he'll save 6 lakh rupees, which means he'll have a 2x return, or a 15% return on investment. That brings us somewhat closer by reducing the gap to 6%, still a gap. Another thing we can do is we have increased the returns, we can reduce the risk. We will give him a 10-year warranty inverter, which means the main components are now covered for 10 years. Now, still lesser return but lesser risk. Still can make sense for some. At the same time, let's see what we can do more. Another thing we can do is, if he's, it's valid for him, we can give him a loan and reduce his down payment. So Ajay had a down payment of 2 lakhs, Vijay had a down payment of 3 lakhs. If we give him a loan and reduce that cost to 60,000, let's say, and the rest is 3-year EMIs at an affordable rate of 8%, his initial capex becomes 60,000, and then he pays 7,500, which will be the EMI, minus 5,000, which will be his average saving, 2,500 rupees for the next 3 years, and then he starts saving 60,000 rupees a year. So this increases his returns phenomenally at 5%. That reduces, basically they've reduced the gap, 21%, 20%. That's just a 5% variation. And he has much lesser risk. So this is where we summarize that, for almost everyone, who's not bothered about subsidies, all these things are possible. These things are possible because I am able to give that extra inverter warranty. I'm able to give that extra power of 1 kilowatt, which is on the panels, is because I'm saving a lot of money, which I have to otherwise spend running around, get the subsidies, which I have to, for the inspections being done, or for the money stuck, there's an interest cost to everything. So this is what can be done for everyone around. And if the loans are available, the returns are the same. Now, for few people who actually own their own companies, this can be even improved. So there are two additional options that are available for commercial industrial. That's why I see a lot more adoption of solar in that sector. One obviously is the higher size. You can go for 100 kilowatt system. The cost reduces dramatically, but we are taking a 5 kilowatt system, so we'll just keep the system size same. First is the GST benefits. He can take input tax credit on his GST. If he has a company, has a GST number, he can actually purchase the system in his company's name, and supply electricity to his office or his home, whichever way he prefers. Now that is a 25,000 rupees saving in this case upfront. So that means his return now has increased by 5% to 26%. Now he's on a +5 side, Vijay, with his GST credits. Another thing, if Vijay has a profitable company, then he can have accelerated depreciation benefits, which mean he can depreciate the entire asset in the first 3 years itself by 40, and 20% ratio. And combined with GST credits and tax benefits, these more or less offset in real terms, although over 3 years, the entire subsidy amount. You save that tax and you save that GST. So all these tax savings phenomenally improves the return. Phenomenally. That's gone through the roof. That's 55% now. And with the loan, that's 55%. Even without loan, that's like 26%, 25%. So this is where we say, that's why we see a lot more movement on the commercial side, where people have seen benefits of solar. Now we have roughly around 500 installations for the last 3 to 4 years. Our oldest system is March 2016. So everybody can see that data and understand, yes, these generations are happening, people are saving this money, and this makes sense. So that risk is already reduced on performance. With additional warranties, we further reduce the risk. And if the loan is available, you are making a lot of money, even if you do not have a commercial entity. To summarize, while all benefits might not be available for everyone, more or less, subsidies constraining you to not be able to take those extra benefits, but whatever is applicable sequentially improves your returns. At the bare minimum, you should have that extra 20% panels. Then obviously if a loan is available, or you can use a GST credit and so on. So they're mix and matches, but as you can see, the trend is on the upside. So instead of waiting for the government subsidies, which will come whenever they will, this is one thing that I thought I would make our customers or anybody's potential customers aware about what they can do. Now the power will be back. So this is the summary. Now if anybody has any further questions, you can WhatsApp us at 888-21-22-999 or email us at easy@Zolt Energy, and we will try to answer all the questions to the best of our abilities. Let's all see and try to make things work without subsidy assistance if you can. Thank you. Namaskar.